ladies and gentlemen, what is up? Christian Ashmore here, and welcome to Speaking of Anime. Today's episode we will be talking about Sword Art Online, Gale Online Alternative. First episode has been released yesterday, and I recently acquired the first volume of the manga. I actually bought this from online, so I bought the manga because I knew it was coming out soon, and today I'm sort of going to be comparing the manga and the first episode, because they have done different things. Not much different, but different. For example, in the manga, it actually starts off sort of not in the field. It starts off in the field, but not in the actual whole tournament thing, which the anime is based on, which is the Squad Jam. It starts off with your main character Len, or Karen, I believe it's Karen. Yeah, Karen, who plays the little small avatar Lin, meeting up with, I've forgotten how to say her name. It's in here somewhere. Pito or something like that. It's in here somewhere. It is Pito, I believe. Yeah, I believe it's Pito. Where is it? I'm sure it's in here. Anyway, yeah, she meets up with. It is in here. I know it is. Yeah, Pito. She meets up with someone called Pito, who basically shows her around the city, which I believe, if you go from Fatal Bullet, is the SBC Glocken. Shows her around, actually shows her where she gets her P90, which she names P-chan, rather conveniently. And then while they're out in the field one day, I think it was killing monsters, but ended up getting into a PvP. She mentions about the Squad Jam tournament and how she should join up for it. And at first, Len's a bit hesitant about it, because it involves the PKing factor of the whole game, but she eventually agrees to join up with it. But Pito says, great, I'll arrange everything, I'll get your team up and all together, and Len sort of goes, well, aren't you joining? Apparently she has Pito has something else to do during that time. But that's when you then meet the next main character, which is M. Yes, that's it. His name is literally just M, who is a sort of sniper. I want to say he's a sniper, but sort of designated marksman. He's got a EBR, I believe it was. He does mention it in the thing. It is mentioned in here, I know it is. Yeah, EBR, an M14 EBR. And they sort of go into a sort of training thing. He basically trains her to see her skills, what she's capable of and what she isn't. And sort of teaches her other things like how to judge sound from distance and which distance it's going from, like left, right, in front, and so on and so forth. And they sort of form a connection to basically be a part of this Squad Jam. The Squad Jam is a battle royale based around teams. The maximum number of players you can have in a team is 6. Minimum, obviously, being 2, because 1 isn't really a team. I'm not sure, although it doesn't really mention that if you can be one person, but Len and M actually are an actual 2-man team, and I believe I can't remember how many other teams are participating. I should have but lucky I've got the source, so I can find out. 23 teams participate in it, so yeah, but they sort of do the training and all that, and eventually they do get into the game, the actual battle royale. this is where the anime actually starts up. The anime starts up in the actual Squad Jam itself, starting off the Squad Jam, whereas the manga starts before it, like builds up to it and stuff like that. But again, the difference between mangas and animes is, with a manga you sort of have more time to put more detail into it, whereas the animes, they've got a set time base. They have to be a certain length, so you can't do certain things get taken out and sort of changed, move around and stuff like that, because the way the manga finishes off, they've literally just had their first encounter with another team, and that team is then taken out by another team who is supposedly combat trained. Like, they are trained to do combat, but they're using the game as sort of training. You don't actually find out what they are, because they're either, police forces, special forces, or Japan's special defense force, and I've sort of anything combat based that you get paid to fight. That's where the manga ends off. But in the anime, after the first team is taken out by this special group of people, it gets to a point where Len and M sort of move off from their starting area in the woods and end up in a residential district with this special force team sort of hunting them down after taking out 3 other teams. Although they didn't take them all out themselves, the team sort of fought amongst themselves and they just picked up the scraps. But they end up hunting them down, and they're sort of standing in the middle of the street and they wait for the scan for the radar. And you've got 4 of them sort of in a group, sort of back to back, guarding all the directions that they could get attacked from. And as the scan comes along, it shows that their team is literally about a few feet in front of them, but they can't see them anywhere. The place is sort of open. You've got houses, you've got sort of cars and all that around, but there's no one around. Sorry, there's no one around, and the commander of this special forces team is like, all right, describe what you see around you. So they're going, all right, you got cars, you got a trolley empty, no sort of manhole covers for them to get underground and stuff like that. And there's a suitcase with 3 cans near it, but there's no sign of the enemy. At which point, they're sort of judging it and all that, and then the commander shouts, shoot the suitcase. And out pops Len, who is must have been hiding in a hole. I don't actually see the hole, but she's probably hiding in a hole with a suitcase over the top. She jumps out and starts attacking all these special forces people, and of course with her superior movement and stuff like that, because she's a very vast character, she's able to take out all 4 of these special forces guys. And it was pretty interesting combat. I must admit, they were all shocked about her speed. She absolutely slices one guy up with her P90, and yeah, after those 4 are taken out, she sort of zooms off to probably regroup with M. And the special forces guys, the last 2 remaining guys, said, well, this training's over, we might as well just resign and basically leave the field, because half their team's been annihilated. Well, over half their team's been annihilated. And that's sort of where that Battle Royale part of the game ends, because after that it goes into real life with a group of girls sort of watching the feed, and they sort of turn and go, I can't believe that little avatar is you, Karen. And turns around and you got this really big girl coming in with a tray, because in real life Karen is actually 6 foot, I believe it was. It mentions it in the book, I believe. Yeah, 6 foot tall. She's 6 feet tall, unlike the others. She's only 19 as well. So she's sort of insecure about her height, so that's why she ends up seeing VR game. She reads an article about VR games that say, "Oh, get a different you." So she goes around trying the different ones, like trying to get the perfect her. She wants to be a small person instead of a really big person, and she ends up settling on Gale Online with her little avatar, Lynn. But yeah, this is only the first episode and the first volume of the manga. I don't believe the second volume of the manga is out yet. I'll have to check that out because I am interested in reading this, but I will also be watching the rest of Gale Online Alternative. And yeah, eventually when I finish it, I'll probably do a full review on the story itself. So until next time, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would just like to clarify one thing. No, actually, don't worry about it. It's not too important. But yeah, it's a battle royale based on teams and has no resemblance to anything whatsoever. So until next time, guys, I shall see you around. Goodbye.